just some quick intros. My name is Gina Chichek. I'm a senior account executive over here at NeuraFlash. I specialize in manufacturing space. And also we have Kartik, and he is our Chief Innovation Officer, and he also manages and heads our MuleSoft and data practice here at NeuraFlash. So just a couple housekeeping items. We will send you the recording of this webinar at the end. And please feel free to submit any questions via the Q&A feature of Zoom. And we will kind of take a look at that throughout, and also we'll be answering some questions at the end. And actually, I'm going to open that now and get that going. All right, so the goal of this webinar, we just want to talk a little bit about manufacturing, about MuleSoft, and how those two spaces intersect. Just a little bit about NeuraFlash. We're a top 5 consulting partner here in North America for Salesforce. We also partner very, very strongly with MuleSoft and several other applications. We do Service Cloud Voice, Sales Cloud, Field Service, basically all the major areas of Salesforce. We've been a partner of Salesforce for about 8 years now and have done lots of different implementations. We work with all sorts of different customers, and we have a lot of customers in the manufacturing space. We primarily focus on AI-powered experiences from point of sale to point of service. And what that means is that we really focus on the intersection of your entire business process, how that flows within Salesforce, and how we make those connections using tools like MuleSoft to do some automation and make that user experience and customer experience more streamlined. We are a certified MuleSoft partner, and we'll talk a little bit about our MuleSoft practice on a next slide. This slide really just shows how we think about Salesforce and how we think about how your data flows throughout your business process, so that you get a 360-degree view of the customer. And we use MuleSoft to help connect all that data between those different areas of Salesforce and external systems in your ecosystem. So we are a top 5 MuleSoft partner for automation. And what that means is, RPA and other types of automation features of MuleSoft, and how we kind of put together areas of automation for your users, for your customers, helping to reduce those manual steps. And we're going to talk a lot about that with this webinar, what areas of the business, how we kind of impact not just that user experience, but the customer experience as well. We have certified architects and integration specialists here at NeuraFlash, and that dedicated team of experts helps our customers find those opportunities and architect those experiences. So, when it comes to manufacturing, we really tried to focus on some of the major priorities of manufacturing customers. Right now, what we're seeing with a lot of our customers is that they're focused on 4 major areas for the business. And one of the main ones is customer experience. And what we're finding lately is that customers are expecting more of a digital experience than they ever have before. And this is new for a lot of manufacturing customers. Throughout time, manufacturers have been around, since the conception of this country. And as they've grown, so has their technology needs. So we'll see a lot of modernization requests and needs from our customers, as well as a consolidation of their overall system architecture. And the reason for that too is because of a lot of mergers and acquisitions within the ecosystem, that is requiring a lot more thought around scalability and growth. And now I'm going to hand it over to Kartik. Kartik, if you want to go ahead and share your screen, he's going to get into a little bit more detail around how MuleSoft and automation can help with all these different areas for manufacturers.
So Gina talked about briefly about the automations and the common challenges that we are seeing from the manufacturer standpoint. Before getting into the use cases for the manufacturers, I want to briefly touch on the power of MuleSoft and the capabilities of the MuleSoft as a platform, and then get into the MuleSoft automation and how it is applied to the manufacturing space. Whenever, I keep hearing this, there is this notion of MuleSoft is an integration platform, and it's primarily built for integrations. It's not just for integrations. MuleSoft it's an iPaaS, the way I see it. It has a lot of capabilities outside of integrations as well. Integrations it's a basic use case. Yes, totally agreed. But it also can does things like API gateway management. It has RPA composers built into it. Clicks, not code functionality and capabilities that are part of this MuleSoft platform overall. And it's more than a data connector. It basically, I mean, this slide explains what MuleSoft can do. This enables enterprises to boost the productivity, streamline extremely complex business processes that involve multitudes of applications, and unlock the data in real time and get more value out of it. And for this webinar, we are going to focus specifically on the automation suite of products on the MuleSoft side. And as I said, MuleSoft automation consists of a multitude of products, and primarily Flow Orchestrator, which is a product on the Salesforce platform that allows you to replace the legacy workflows and approval processes, and gives you the ability to build automation through the UI, and then different user actions that the automation and the UI needs to be done can be assigned to the different users. Flow Builder is a clicks, not code tool that will allow you to write business process and business logic without writing a single line of code. Flow Actions is the ability for the admins to build out custom actions, the first citizen developers on the Salesforce platform that allow you to open up screens, create like new visuals without writing a single line of code. Flows in Slack is another productivity tool that is integrated with your Slack, which is a communication platform, engagement platform, which provides you the ability to create guided workflows within Slack itself and without getting outside of Slack. Flow integration is a tool that will allow you to integrate multiple systems without writing code. It has a really clean UI that will provide you the capability to integrate your backend applications, the most commonly used applications like NetSuite or SAP or Zendesk or Salesforce without writing single line of code, and also write custom logic and if-else conditions within the Flow integration tool. And by the way, the Flow integration previously was called Composer, MuleSoft Composer, and now it's rebranded to the Flow integration. And last but not the least, the Flow RPA, which is an RPA tool on the MuleSoft automation platform that will allow you to write RPA bots to automate some of these repetitive tasks that are done by the humans, or do some screen scraping, OCR reading on the platform. If there is no API, no problem. So the combination of all these products together is called the MuleSoft Automation Suite. And I would like to put on this slide, because I think this is the most important part of the automation when you think about automation within any organization. It's a journey. It's not an end state. So when the customers think about automation, they want to automate their systems, automate their business processes, bring in automation. It's a strategic journey, and it has to start somewhere. And with the MuleSoft Automation Suite, you are starting the journey to invest in a robust platform that can mature with your organization. And it allows you to quickly see the business value, the return on investment as well. The platform itself provides you all kinds of capabilities and gives you a real value to your ROI. So let's briefly talk about Salesforce and MuleSoft better together in manufacturing, which is the focus of our presentation today. And Gina kind of like touched upon like different points that the manufacturers are looking at, and how Salesforce and MuleSoft together are helping the manufacturers create this digital experiences across the value chain. And to highlight some of the key themes that we are seeing in the manufacturing industry when it comes to unified experiences or modernizing the commercial applications, providing the ability all the way from opportunity to order to invoicing, modernizing those applications and operations without a lot of manual and mundane tasks is one of the key things that Salesforce and MuleSoft is bringing in. Transforming the service experience, the customer service is generally always like a cornerstone for any manufacturer, making sure that there is a strong customer service from the manufacturing standpoint, whether it is call centers or whether it is field service, enabling the service agents, the technicians to a smarter way to handle the requests and the tickets through automation is something that Salesforce and MuleSoft together are providing. Partner engagement, again, is a big key focus for manufacturers, providing the ability for all the different channels that are working with the manufacturers, from the suppliers to vendors to partners on the different products or the different inventory or like the different orders is something that MuleSoft and Salesforce together are doing very well within their space. And the internal teams, let's not forget about the employee productivity, right? I mean, like obviously, like the operation side, the experience side, the service side, and the partner engagement are great. The most important part is like the employee productivity, making sure that the employees are productive and they're not doing repetitive tasks, and they're focusing on what is important with all these like different tools and capabilities is one of the key themes from the manufacturing standpoint. And everything that I talked about is only possible if there is insights into the existing data. At least based on my experience, like any manufacturers, they'll probably have like, I don't know, 30 plus applications within their organization or more. Sometimes I've seen like 60 plus, right? And all these applications are generating this high volumes of data that is living in some sort of a data warehouse or a lake house, and unlocking that value of data and translating that data into valuable insights and actions is the key piece. And Salesforce and MuleSoft as the platforms are providing the ability to unlock that data as well by providing integration capabilities, automation capabilities for the manufacturers. Let's look at the roadmap of what a unified customer experience for a manufacturer looks like. So this is a value map that gives you a front to back view of all the different things that happen within a manufacturing space within an organization, all the way from marketing to sales operations to commerce to connected experiences. If you look at it, you can see like all the different marketing related activities that are happening on the top left corner. And as a part of the sales, you have like the opportunity management, code creation, account planning, the product management. And in the sales operation, the order management, the planning and forecasting, demand planning, sales agreements, product visibility, inventory. And if you look at like the connected customer experiences, you have customer service requests, SLAs, field service that is tied with all the back office applications connected to this value map. So if we drill deep on what each of these subsections will look like from the roadmap perspective with automation, let's take a look at each of the subsections. The first one is on the sales side. You say opportunity to order to cash. When we think about automation from the order processing standpoint, automation can be used to automate the manual tasks that involve order processing, extracting the orders from emails, entering them into the ERP system, updating the inventory levels, providing connecting to the APIs through RPA, and enabling seamless data transfers. or whether it is on the invoice processing side, RPAs can automate the invoice processing by extracting the relevant information from invoices, validating the data against the ERP applications, and initiating the payments. If there are APIs onto your backend systems, they can connect the RPA bot with the ERP applications and other relevant applications, ensuring the data synchronization and minimal manual interventions. So this is on the right-hand side, I've shown you like there are little icons. Those are the RPA and the flows. The combination of the RPA and the flows from within the application can provide you ability to automate some of these skip opportunity to order to cash business processes that we see in the manufacturing space. If I drill deep into the sales operations, most of times the sales operations is primarily collecting a lot of data, making sure they're doing some sort of analysis, reading through the contracts, performing demand planning, and forecasting. In these scenarios, RPAs or the automation can assist in the forecasting by analyzing the historical sales data, identifying the market trends, and other relevant factors. The RPA bots can perform calculations, apply statistical models within your organization, generate accurate demand forecasts for all the different products by regions or by customer segments. And this generally helps the manufacturers optimize the production levels and then perform better inventory management and resource allocations. When it comes to contracts, contract extraction through OCR is it's a very common use case where what you see on a regular basis, where automation plays and RPA plays an important role. There are other things that the sales operation does, like supply chain optimization, where RPA bots can help you automate the analysis of the supply chain data, including things like inventory levels, lead times, supply performance, production capacity. And by leveraging this data, bots can identify areas of opportunity to improve processes, reduce the costs, and identify any bottlenecks like potential stockouts or inventory level fluctuations based on demand. So these are all the things that RPA bots can automate within the supply chain optimization piece as well. And on the connected customer experience and field service, as you can see on the left-hand side, I have like a little Einstein icon. Self-service is always the most important aspect for the customer service. And when we talk about self-service, chatbots has gained traction in the past 5 to 6 years, where chatbots are helping the customers, the end customers, resolve issues themselves. So providing the ability for the chatbots to integrate with your backend knowledge application and then give the right responses to the customers is a big piece of the automation. Providing updates on order statuses, on where the order is, the return statuses, by integrating your backend applications with the chatbots is another big self-service piece. And built-in escalations from chatbots to a human or an agent, with the ability of building in the escalations, providing all the informations that the chatbot collected about the end customer to the agent, will give the ability for the agent to quickly act on and then resolve the issue on the self-service side. When it comes to the customer service, most of the times within the manufacturing industry or any other industry, when an agent is working on a single ticket or a specific ticket, one of the biggest challenges that the agent has is that they have to log into 5 different applications, 5 different systems to get a complete picture of what they're trying to solve. you might have order data in an order application like Siebel. You might have customer data in CRM. You might have fulfillment data in like an ERP application. Providing that single pane of glass view to an agent is the key to solving the tickets in a much more faster and efficient way. And with the Salesforce and MuleSoft automation tools, you have the ability to bring all the data together into a single pane of glass view for the agent to solve any of the customer incidents or tickets. On the field service side, the proactive maintenance monitoring is another area where we are seeing a lot of automation that is being presented, especially with the IoT devices connected to your back office applications that are proactively notifying of equipment failures, or proactively notifying if there is like a heat or the temperatures of the equipments are going at a certain level. An IoT device sending a notification back to your some application in the backend IoT hub, and based on that particular notification, proactively creating service requests where a field technician can go in and then perform the service on that particular equipment, and then creating like all these different maintenance workflows based on the lifetime or the install dates of an asset. So these are all the different areas where automation plays a key role when it comes to the field service as well. So let's zoom into a very specific use case, right? I mean, we talked about a lot of areas where automation and the MuleSoft automation suite of products are playing a key role when it comes to the manufacturers. Let's go down one level and look at a very specific use case that can be applied to the manufacturing space, and we'll see how that helps with applying these products to this use case. So this is a very simple use case where that can be related to any manufacturer, right, that have customer service or customer care installed, set up, right? A customer service representative receives a service request. Most of the times, manufacturers need some sort of documentation tied with the service request, whether it is when the order forms, or whether it is when the product was purchased, or like whether information about that product, or like some details about that particular product that was installed at the customer site. So the agent takes a phone call, or whether they get an email, they say, okay, send this information to us. Email is sent out, and the agent is looking at the email, clicking on the email, downloading the attachments in the Excel format or a PDF format. And now they have like a bunch of information, unstructured information in the Excel sheet or on the PDF document. And now they are opening the service portals, whether it is Salesforce, Service Cloud, or something else, opening all these service portals, and then creating a service request manually based on the information that is present in the email or the PDF document. And most of the times, just opening a service portal might not be sufficient. So they are also opening other supporting applications to get more information about that particular asset that was installed, but about the customer who this agent is trying to service. And it takes a lot of time, right? I mean, to do this process. It is error-prone, time-consuming. Agent can fat finger it and then put in inaccurate data, and it is less reliable. And you'll be surprised. I've seen this process in some form. It is still happening in many areas, especially in the manufacturing space. If we look at implementing something like this, again, as I said, automation is a journey, right? It's not an end state, and you have to start somewhere small. identifying your use case like this for the MuleSoft automation is going to become a key, because this use case is again very common and something that can be easily done by the MuleSoft automation. And you'll see a lot of return on the investment that you're doing, right? So we can automate this entire process with the MuleSoft automation product, even without the service agent acting on any of these things. They're not even doing anything. They're doing like something else, working on some other tasks or activities, where as soon as an email comes in, a bot is invoked, an RPA bot. The RPA bot is actually downloading the attachments, opening the Excel, opening the PDF, opening the service portals, and then creating a service request. Everything is done by an RPA bot. And if there are integrations that are needed to other applications to get more information to create the service request, we can always use any point platform and APIs to integrate with those other systems and create a service request. A service request is created and request is assigned to a technician. On an average, you're basically saving close to 3 to 4 minutes of manual effort per request that the associate can leverage elsewhere. And in the grand scale of things, when you look at it from like number of cases that are being created, number of tickets that are incidents that are happening or being created within the manufacturing space, it's millions of dollars that are being saved for organizations. And what's the value proposition, right? I mean, like for this particular use case, the value prop is you're basically eliminating the entire waiting period. The agent is freed up now, can take on like much more like high escalation tasks or do other activities that are more important. The request resolution time is reduced by 83% on an average. The agent productivity is increased, obviously, and the error rate is reduced by 99%. Just by automating a very simple use case within the manufacturing space in the customer service where service tickets are being created. These are all the different value props that you're seeing in this process. So that's talked about a lot of stuff, went from like the how MuleSoft and Salesforce are playing an important role in the manufacturing, talked about the value map of the manufacturing space, and each of the areas where you can identify automation playing a key role. We went into a very specific use case when it comes to the service request process. So let's see the different patterns and different things where you can apply the automation to some of the use cases. There are so many options, and when to use what. There is like a interesting conversation that happens all the time is like, okay, we have all these different products which are part of the automation suite, when to use what. So try to put together like a visual to give an idea of like when to use what. Most of the times, I'll start from the right side. RPA is used if there are data imports, there is time tracking or OCR extraction that requires like a manual repetitive task, RPA only. On the left-hand side, you see that the RPAs and the flows, which are the Salesforce flows, can be used for things like invoice automation. If there are actions or approvals that need to be taken care by a particular user in your workflow process, flows can be used to create those actions and then like the steps after those actions, synchronizing the data between the applications, making sure that the data is in sync, and then making sure that there is like some sort of a monitoring and alerting built in. RPAs and API flows and APIs, which are again part of the entire MuleSoft stack, are used when there is end-to-end integrations for a full-on like end-to-end process like work order management, RMA management, inventory management. So where RPAs and flows and APIs can be used to automate all the processes within the manufacturing space. And identifying the easy wins. So heard about a lot of things. You saw like a use case. Let's ask the right question. So as a manufacturer who is trying to automate or who is trying to get onto the MuleSoft platform, who is trying to identify where you can apply this. Ask the right question. Always thinking about that right question is the key to applying this amazing product to your use case. And some of the things that we see within the manufacturing industry are things like, okay, automating manual entries, right? Are users manually reviewing unstructured data like PDFs, spreadsheets, and doing something with it? Are they doing that on a manual basis? Do you see applications, legacy applications like mainframes or homegrown desktop applications that does not have connectivity directly, and you still have to rely on them for whether you're like invoice generation or some other activity, and then overcoming those kind of green screen limitations? Does your databases have limited API access? That your business applications have no APIs? Is your user doing repetitive tasks, the same task multiple times a day or in a week, or in like different applications in different systems? So these are the questions that are asked that will help you start this journey, where you are, as a manufacturer, you are identifying those simple use cases and then building on top of them. So with that, I conclude my presentation. I know I've covered a lot. So what's next? How do we get started today? Gina, you want to take over this one?
Yeah. So we have a couple different offerings that we are doing with the NeuraFlash and our customers. One is called our MuleSoft Burst program, and another is an automation quick start. And we also have a workshop coming up, and we'll be sending some information about that as a follow-up along with the recording to this session. And if you want to go to the next slide, it just has my information, and you guys are welcome to reach out, and we can kind of talk about, you know, some potential use cases and areas where these solutions might fit for you. Like we typically like to talk about what are some of the pain points that you're having, how long does it take for you to do certain tasks, and that helps us find those types of opportunities. But I think that's about it. So we really appreciate you guys all joining. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and we can address those before we all drop for the day.
Yeah, and I also want to make sure that everyone is talking about looking at this workshop, because I know I was not able to like show any demo in this one, but this is an opportunity for you to get your hands on dirty and apply the use cases that we talked about in this webinar within your workshop, and like get your hands on the product, see how easy it is to leverage the product, and then solve some of the use cases that we talked about today. So sign up onto the workshop.
Well, I don't see any questions in the chat, so I think we're good to let you guys go a little early. Feel free to reach out at any time if you have any questions or follow-ups. We're happy to hop on a call and kind of go through any of those use cases in specific and see how they might work for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.